Welcome, my children of the night, to Terror Tales of LA, the podcast. Your home for all things horror and all things Los Angeles.
Bonjour, and welcome to Terror Tales of LA, the podcast. I'm your host, Adri Diaz.
And I'm your other host, Quentin Writings.
And we got some fun things we want to talk about. We took a little break, not intentionally.
Life stuff happens.
Life stuff happens.
You know.
My dad almost died.
I know, and you're running up to the valley and dealing with all that.
Yeah.
I was working.
Yeah.
I had a regular 9-to-5 job, and that's also hard.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad had a stroke, got into a car accident, and they were like telling me like, hey, we got to take him either to hospice and let him live out his final days, or do you want to try and save him? And I've actually not spoken to my father for years. So I said, let me pull the plug. I said, let me do it myself.
You had to be there to do it.
Let me $1 million baby him myself. No, but that was very traumatic and weird.
Yeah, I mean, I can only imagine.
Yeah, because I don't have like a very good relationship with him, and then being put in that situation where I had to make like big life decisions for him.
Right.
I truly disassociated for at least 3.5 weeks.
And just now.
And I just came back in now.
You just snapped back.
I snapped back in now.
Mid-pod.
Mid-pod, I'm here, I'm present. But yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy, and I truly, I asked ChatGPT, what should I do?
Cooking the planet for answers.
Whatever. We're all cooking it. I see so many people using ChatGPT.
Yeah, but they're dumb.
I know.
It's like the...
Yeah, and what do you think I am?
Smart.
Potato. But yeah, so that's kind of what I was dealing with. I also got like a new job where I'm being a barista, and I'm not very good at it.
Right, yeah. Well, also, it's kind of on them, because, like, what was your prior experience? Was, like, how many years back? Oh, like, half a decade? 5, 6 years?
We don't need to get into the specifics because I don't want people figuring out my age. But
using math to figure out your age.
Yeah, but I was a barista like a long time ago. I wasn't even good then. And then they hired me to be a barista at this new place, and I could tell they're frustrated with me.
But they gave you like little to no training. That's the thing that kind of blows me away.
There was some training.
But no, specifically for coffee, because like I worked in coffee before, and I had no real experience in it. So it's like they took the time to actually like learn me up, and it just feels like, and it took me a while. It took me like at least a month to kind of get pretty decent.
Yeah, I think it's been like the month point now. And I think they're just kind of getting frustrated with me. But it's so funny, yeah.
Like they trained me over them. Like they actually were checking in, re-showing me stuff. It feels like they just like told you how to do this one time, and now they're mad that it's been a month and you haven't gotten better. But it's like, coffee's tricky.
How come you asked me more questions about the coffee than when I talked about my dad? You seem way more invested in this conversation.
Because I don't have, you
can't relate?
Both my parents are healthy.
Unlike your unhealthy parents, mine are pretty healthy.
It's like, I don't know what to do. Like
I could see you physically get awkward when I mention the dad thing.
Yeah, it's like how do I feel like it's on the like anytime someone does like dead parents or dying parents or like anything in comedy, it's like it's kind of on the person to then relate it in a funny way.
I'm not trying to be funny about it. I was just being honest, where I'm like, yeah, this is what is going on.
And I've been empathetic to you off microphone.
No, if you're listening,
it's not like I've like ignored you.
No, he's blocked me. He's blocked my calls.
Yeah,
but he'll unblock me when he needs a ride.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to make it funny. I mean, there was, I think, pockets of humor Because when I did go visit him, because I think for me it's really hard, and I guess for you too, to be vulnerable. And when I kind of saw, because I did go back to my hometown to visit him and kind of talk to the doctors and see exactly what's going on, and seeing him in such critical condition, I immediately like started making jokes, and that was like a big thing about me. And I was just like, he's faking it.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't know.
like it's just like a defense mechanism.
Is that because I do agree with that, because it does feel as though, and like I know I'm guilty of this. Like my heart is always wrapped in 2 to 3 layers of like ironic distance. Like I'm always like struggling to engage with things sincerely these days. Like
Yeah.
I always like always like, how do I find the funny ironic like moment in this issue? And a lot of times
Right.
life doesn't allow for that, and it is like hard to engage with things sincerely.
Yes, and I even like purposely posted about it because I know I have such a hard time being vulnerable about the situation, and like so many people like came forward telling me they had like similar situations. Everyone was being really empathetic and nice, and then I like immediately hated it. I was like, oh god, like I had so much anxiety about like people like trying to comfort me. And I even like had like was talking to a friend, and then she immediately was just like, I'm like so sorry to hear about that. And I wanted to just be like,
stop being cringe.
ew, yeah.
Gross.
Gross.
What? How's that funny?
I know.
Make a joke.
I know. I did. Don't worry, I did for her. But yeah, so it was just it's just been like a weird time for me. Everyone has been really great though.
Yeah.
And not you though.
I'd hope so. Yeah,
Not you.
I'm the one outlier who's been bad.
I saw your eyes when I started bringing it up. You're like, why are you bringing this up? I could see it in your eyes.
We're light. We're light driving talk.
Hey, I'm just being honest, and I'm being vulnerable.
All right, Adri, yeah, you do keep it 100 all the time.
What the hell did you just say?
You keep it 100.
Huh? You better stretch that tongue.
100.
Don't talk like that. Don't ever talk like that.
Why might I be talking about this?
It sounds like you sound like my dad when he had the stroke and got in the car accident.
Why am I talking like this?
No.
I'm
Do not segue like that. God damn it. Do
I'm
not segue like that.
inspired.
That is so fucking sickening. Do not segue like that.
I'm very influenced by things I find cool.
No.
Yes.
No.
All right, fine. You gracefully segue us.
We saw the highly anticipated movie Sinners.
It is the movie of the summer.
Yeah, it's not even summer yet, and it's the movie of the summer. Directed by Ryan Coogler. Who's directed Black Panther, Creed.
Fruitvale Station, Wakanda Forever.
Yep, absolutely. Ben, I saw that. Ben, I saw that in the corner of my eye. He did the little Black Panther.
Ruth Conda Forever, one of my favorite fake tweets of all time. Like when Ruth Bader Ginsburg died, this like media white woman was like, "Yeah, my daughter just came to me and I told her the news, and she did the arm cross and said Ruth Conda Forever." God,
this generation is so unserious.
Yeah,
it's so funny.
But also like 20. That feels like such a. It's only been like 5 years, but like 20 or like 6 years. 28, 19, like that world feels like a different time. Like
oh my god! Well, it's pre-panty.
Yeah, that world of woke. Just feels like crazy to think about.
I know. It was a different time. And you know what also is a different time? 1932, where the movie took place.
In the Delta Blue, the Mississippi Delta.
Yes. Okay, so I truly tried so hard not to have any spoilers ruined for me. I truly wanted to go in super blind. I saw the trailer once, heard it was coming out, and because I feel like the trailer did a great job not telling us a lot. And then, before I even get into the specifics of it, we're going to tell you right now, this is a review of The Sinners. So if you haven't seen it yet...
Cover your little baby ears.
Cover your ears, but we need the play, so just keep playing it. You can put the volume down.
Yeah, but we're gonna talk about some pretty like important like plot aspects of it. And it's like, so if you really, really don't want to know about it, Just yeah.
Why are you even listening though? The title
The
is
title
literally
is
called
Sinners.
Sinners Review.
But just we want the play, so just turn the volume down
Yeah,
for like
put the volume
next
down.
like 40 minutes.
You could watch us on. It could be a fun game. You could watch us on YouTube, but like turn the volume down and try and guess what we're saying. Take a shot every time you think Quentin's saying something problematic.
Yeah.
You'll get wasted.
Pretty quick.
Pretty quick. Pretty quick. All right, and here we go. We will get into it, but what did you think? What was your honest takeaway from the movie?
I am happy to report like I did enjoy myself. I think it's a classic like summertime capital M kind of movie. Like it's like a blockbuster. It's like a tentpole. It's like Jurassic Park. It's Armageddon. It's it's like a four quadrant film. Like it's like yes it's R, but I didn't think it was like. I think you could take your kids to maybe not all.
Oh no! What the hell are you talking about? Do not take your kids there.
Take your cool kids there. Like if they're like 12 or 13, they can come.
That's even worse. If I was a 12 or 13-year-old and those scenes that I was seeing, those sexual scenes, if I was with my parents, I would be so uncomfortable.
Yeah, but everyone has to like go through that. That's just like growing pains. That's life. That's a important formative experience, I believe. Everyone has to awkwardly sit through a sex scene with their parents at least once in their life.
I don't think so.
That does happen.
Why is that needed? I don't think that's needed.
Because Americans are too uncomfortable with sexuality as it is. Like I feel that Puritanism like baked into the country. It's why we're so weak. Everyone's like trying to take sex scenes out of movies because it's like they feel like we should just stick to porn or something like that. It feels weirdly to separate it all out because it's trying to, like we were talking about, treat everything at a remove, including sex. But sex is a huge important part of life. It is where people come from. It's what most people think. It's a huge motivating factor for why people become like successful. So it feels weird to excise that from like art.
You're one of them perverts, aren't you?
Just like a long way of saying it's like, yeah, I'm defending the perverted arts.
I'm just saying, sure, I understand that, but I don't think we need our parents there.
Point being, it's a general crowd pleaser then.
You can, I would say if you're 12 or 13, go sneak off with your friends, go to the movies, sneak into a movie theater and go see it.
Also,
you don't need your parents there.
Actually, that's even a better formative experience then of like buying the ticket to not that and then sneaking into the other
that's
thing.
what I did all the time as a kid. Or no, actually I just snuck in a lot. The town, my hometown, the mall did not give a fuck.
They had other problems.
Yeah.
They're busy dealing with like meth and like burning Harry Potter books. Mm-hmm. Which they were right. Visalia was just ahead of time. They're actually super like progressive in that regard.
Yeah, so my hometown, we didn't have the Harry Potter books in my elementary school because they quote unquote promoted witchcraft, black magic, things like that. And my hometown is pretty conservative, so we didn't have those at my library. But then now that the whole J.K. Rowling thing came out, my hometown somehow was able to get the burnt pieces of the books and reassemble them. Yeah. And now they're flourishing in my hometown.
Throughout Visalia.
Because it's so conservative that they probably love J.K. Rowling now.
You know what? On second thought, she's got Harry Potter does have some good points.
Maybe that witch lady got some ideas.
I just believe men should be men and women should be women.
Is that your impression of
God
J.K.?
save the Queen. I'm a billionaire.
Okay, I hope there's someone who like is watching this YouTube and then on mute and was like, I think he for sure did something problematic right there.
But then they'd be wrong.
What you said was problematic.
As J.K. Rowling.
But the act is still problematic.
Notorious TERF. J.K. Rowling.
Okay, we're getting so sidetracked.
Something we've never done before.
Never in our lives.
On this podcast.
We're always so locked in. Because we know exactly what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. Okay, so your general thoughts?
Big blockbuster movie. Very happy with it. Ryan Coogler is I think he's already kind of established his bona fides, but I think he's like moving forward. He's gonna be like one to watch generationally. Like he is going to be a big deal director for the rest of his life.
Yes.
That's just my overall view. How about yourself?
Again, I think I really wanted to go in as blind as I could. I did, and maybe this is just on me, but I the idea of the villains in the movie being about vampires was kind of ruined for me, and maybe that's just common knowledge, but I truly tried going in not knowing anything, and I knew that before coming in. And then when you do that, at least for me, I start, and I think it's just the writer in me, I start writing a movie in my head and like wanting to see how it goes. And so I think overall it was beautiful. The acting was fantastic. It genuinely did scare me at points here and there, but I think I just had an idea of what I wanted the movie to be, and it wasn't necessarily that. And that's on me. And that's on me. If I just kind of went in with less, and that was another thing too. We didn't get to see it opening weekend, and so all we were hearing was just like great reviews, how fantastic this movie is, how important it is, which I still agree with. But I wish I just saw it sooner.
That did give me pause. I think having that week of like build up, because I've just historically, when it comes to like liking certain movies or like in general, I have very few things that ever live up to like the massive amounts of praise. If I know of it
And you
going
just
in.
truly have to beat the praise before it even happens.
But there was just, so by the time we saw, there was just so much praise for this film. It was like, I hope it is as peak as everyone says it is. And I do feel like it is not that.
Yeah, so I did love the opening scene where what was his name? Little Lenny? Little Benny? Little Sammy?
Sammy.
Yeah, Sammy.
He walks in. We kind of like we open like kind of like was it in media res, like something's already happened.
Yes. Oh, even before that, there's like a little backstory about how music plays such an important.
It's like
cultural. There's such a cultural impact with music.
Yeah.
No matter what your ethnicity is. I guess I didn't realize this movie was going to be so like music forward.
Yeah.
Which I don't hate. And that was a nice little surprise. But yeah, and then we open up on little Sammy, Billy Bobby, whatever his name is. Something had clearly just happened. He has scars on his face. He's all tattered up. He goes into the church, the chapel, and we see that we find out that the pastor is his father. And there was like a couple of jump scares from like flashbacks of what just happened to him, and those did get me. Those were a little spooky.
Those are good. Like I think I would honestly say those little flashes of those scenes are scarier than the actual scenes when they play out.
They were a little funny. But yeah, and so we kind of go back to then we go back like 24 hours earlier, one day earlier.
I was the dad, the preacher's like, put that guitar down, and made me think of like how you talk to your cats, kind of.
When they're holding their guitars.
When they're you're trying to be stern with them, you say you put it down.
Oh, like a comically stern.
Yeah.
Kind of put that guitar down.
Yeah, because he's like clutching a guitar, like the top like neck of a guitar for some reason.
It was the opposite for me. It made me think about how white guys love like getting a guitar out, on a date when they see a guitar and they start playing it.
Yeah.
And just picturing a woman being like, put that guitar down, white man. Do not start playing Wonderwall for me.
Maybe just a little bit.
No.
Just a little after all.
No. And then, and it was very funny. We see one of the first characters. It's Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan's.
Okay, yes. And it took me a minute to realize he was playing both
twins
because we see, I think Smoke was out of the two twins, Stack and Smoke. We see Smoke first, and I was like, hell yeah, there's my man, Michael B. Jordan. And then all of a sudden it pans over to Stack, and I'm like, wait, that's my man, Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
And it took me at least 4.5 minutes to realize they were both Michael B. Jordan. I was like, oh no, am I racist? Why?
Which?
Because I was confused. I was like, wait, why do these two guys look alike? And I was like, oh my God, Adri, how dare you say that in your head? Not all black guys look alike.
Yeah, not company you want to be in, because the guy selling it, the white man selling this sawmill they're trying to buy they want to open a juke joint. They just blew back into town from Chicago.
Yes. But
And
what I'm saying is, I did not realize Michael B. Jordan was playing two different
yeah,
characters. He was playing twins.
I know. Well, that's why he asked them, are you brothers? And he's like,
And
no.
that was a joke. He's like, no, we're just cousins.
Yeah, because they look identical.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're doing the same math as the the white man in the scene.
I know. I was like, oh, shit.
Says, nah, we're cousins.
He's so fine.
Yeah, he's
The white
fine.
man. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, this fat older white man.
This fat, older,
Racist.
clearly typecasted
Very,
as a racist.
it's like, if for older people, like a boss hog type character from Dukes of
Mm-hmm.
Hazzard, like very like, well, what do we have here?
Yeah, that was a good. That was a good impression.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's these two twin brothers who are entrepreneurs, and they are buying this big. What do you?
Sawmill, like it's an
Sawmill.
old sawmill.
Yeah, for the hopes of making it into like a club.
They even do a little. They specifically say for us by us situation. They wanted to do a FUBU.
Mm-hmm. What is a FUBU exactly?
That was a clothing brand, but that meant for us by us. Is like the whole point is like
Oh,
it's like
right.
we own we own it like
So
black
we make
people.
the rules.
It's like ours, so no one can take it away.
Right.
So that's what they want. They want their own little slice of like we own this.
Yeah, and then so they're just kind of preparing for the night. And by the way, very efficient, very fast. They got this club.
They turn
up.
around like I love it.
That turnaround was fantastic. Bought it in the morning, already hired their staff,
Open the club.
decorated.
I will say this movie did a great job of like really painting us a world, giving us a sense of this like the town they're in. This big ensemble cast. We kind of like get a kind of like we get a feel for everybody. It felt like kind of like a play in that regard. We go around. We get to meet like the because it's not just like a black cast, but you get to meet like the Chinese grocers, which was like a big thing
Right.
in the American South. Like that like there was like a decent sized like Asian population.
Right.
And they handled like the sign and the catering. He recruits like their little cousin to be like he's a musician.
Yes.
Who's very talented. And he like wants to like he loves.
And he's little Sammy.
He's Sammy,
Little Sammy,
the
Billy
guy that
Bob.
opened the movie. And he's like kind of torn between worlds because he is like his daddy is a preacher.
Did you say daddy?
Yeah,
Why did you just say daddy?
it's the South.
Okay.
Sorry, I know all you young people have like poisoned that term. But yeah, it's like my daddy.
Okay. Yes,
Yeah.
his daddy.
His daddy's
Daddy's a preacher.
Daddy's a preacher man. And so, but he loves music. He loves like that devil music. He loves that rock and roll. He loves the blues. And
Daddy doesn't like that.
and Daddy does not like that.
Daddy
He
does
wants
not
him
like
to
that.
stay home and be good. Be home, be good, be a good boy. You stay home now.
Stop doing that.
That could be anyone.
But you know who it is.
But it could be anyone. Point being,
You've become so evil.
you gave me a month to like build up the evil. That's the issue.
Because we haven't recorded in
We
a
haven't
while.
recorded, yeah. So I'm full of evil right now.
Okay.
Point being is like he's between worlds, and then of course he's got these cool cousins who are like basically everyone knows is like kind of like gangsters, criminals.
Yeah, and so I think they did a great job telling that backstory where how I think it was Stack, right, who shot the guys in the butt, in the ass.
Smoke
Oh,
is
Smoke.
Smoke wears the blue, Stack wears red.
Got it,
That's
got
how
it.
you-
So Stack had his little blue hat on,
Mhm.
and some people were trying to rob his truck, and so he shoots them in the ass. There was a lot of pockets of really funny moments, like very funny, like things, like whenever he shot him in the ass, and then he recognized him. He's like, "Oh my god, what are you doing? How are you doing?" And he was just
Yeah.
like, "Well, good. Before you shot me in the ass," and I
Yeah.
was like, "That's funny."
And then also like they understand the importance of standing on business. Because he like thinks about not shooting the other guy in the leg because it's like, but he's like, I can't have you saying you tried to rob me and nothing bad happened.
Right, exactly.
That's like-
and that shows a lot of his backstory and
Reputation
kind of who
is
he
important.
is. Yes,
Like it's like he's a principled man. It's like the classic like they're good criminals. Like they have their own sense of morality, but they like adhere to them.
And then we find out a little bit more about Smoke's backstory, where he had his wife that he left back.
He yeah, just to kind of like paint a bigger picture of the town, like, and also like as they're slowly recruiting people who are gonna essentially be our characters that help staff up this place, and like we'll deal with like the horrors of the night. He goes and visits his ex-wife, not before stopping at a grave, with a little handprint on it.
Yes, to establish that he had
They lost a child,
lost a little baby.
like a baby, and his wife is a houdon woman, like a practicer of like voodoo and like magic. Like so she's like aware of that, and he's a realist though. He doesn't really believe in all that.
Right.
But she's like.
But you know what he did believe in? When he got all nasty and horny on her.
They missed each other. There was a lot of I feel like multiple ear licks in this movie.
Oh my God. And you want to watch a movie like that with your parents. You want to sit in between your mom and your dad holding their hands, watching this man bend over this witchy woman and lick her ear.
No, she licked his ear.
Oh, okay then. That makes it okay.
Yeah, well, it's okay when the woman does it.
I'm just saying, it was a pretty horny movie.
It was the South, and everyone's like all hot and bothered.
And bored.
Yeah, and bored. They got no smartphones. No one was on TikTok, so it's like, what else are you gonna do?
Long story short, they're building up. They're building up this club.
And then, so he's recruiting. They recruit this amazing character actor, Delroy Lindo, who's playing this like older blues man.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he was great. Loved him. He was probably my favorite.
He's
character.
been in a million things. Always a welcome thing. And then also you get to have they pick him up at a train station where he's like playing harmonica. You also have two more characters introduced. You have Haley Steinfeld's character,
who apparently
is 1/8 black herself.
1/8 black, and her and Smoke had a little past.
They have a past,
or was it Stack?
That is Stack.
No, Stack.
Stack
is blue.
They have a little past where she's like hints about like it's like, oh, like we grew up together, like I'm part of this, like I didn't want to be white kind of thing.
Yeah, and also
which
is such a.
I get if you get the chance to opt out of being white, I fully vouch for that. I would too if I could.
Shut the hell up.
Because I am more Asian than she is black. I should be allowed to opt out.
Well, what kind of Asian?
She's only an eighth. I'm a full quarter.
Okay, and what kind of Asian?
Japan.
Japan.
Japanese.
You see, you don't even fucking know.
I'm from the land of the rising sun.
Okay, whatever. And we find out that they not even just they grew up together, but they were getting freaky.
Oh, yeah.
She essentially was like, "You ghosted me."
Yeah.
To make it contemporary, she said, "You hit it and quit it."
Yeah.
You got your dick sucked and bounced.
Yeah. You flipped that thing around and you hit it and reversed it.
You Uno reversed it.
You Uno reversed it, and then you dipped.
Yeah. Like literally, I'm not even exaggerating. She kind of did talk like that a little bit.
I
thought they were more classy back then. She was like, "Yeah, you fucked me and ran."
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's to establish that she's not some prissy white woman.
Yeah,
she is invited to the cookout.
Yes. Well,
she was.
Well,
literally.
Not at first, because then when we get to it later, whenever the club does open, Smoke don't want her there
because they could get in trouble though.
Okay, I know that's what it was, but for the longest time at first, I was like, damn, he really is a player. Like, I truly thought he was like, oh, I don't want her here because she's going to blow up my spot if I hook up with someone else tonight.
Yeah, I'm trying to talk to the other bitches.
Yeah.
I can't have the one white woman like eyeballing me the whole time. Make me lose my cred.
Yeah. And so this is all happening. It's very exciting. It's very fun.
Who else? Oh, and then this is also important because at the train station, Sammy, who's like kind of like intimate, like he wants to be like a cool player like his cousins. Mm-hmm. He even gets some like cunnilingus advice from Stack, talking about eating ice cream. Mm-hmm. He's playing a little music with Delroy Lindo at the train station, and then who does he spy but this horny married woman?
A horny married woman.
And they're flirting heavy, and it don't matter that she's got a ring on.
You literally in the movie theater whispered in my ear, "Hooker."
Yeah.
Because she said she was married, but she was for sure laying it thick.
Yeah, and she's like looked like maybe a little older than him. Like she was like she was like wooing him. Mm-hmm. She wanted a piece of that young Strange. And I think I didn't say hooker. I said hoochie, or did I say hooker?
No, you said hooker.
Okay, both are funny.
Because I did think in my head, hooker is such a funny word.
Yeah, just go hooker.
Hooker. You whispered in my ear, hooker. And so yeah, and then they recruited also
Cornbread.
cornbread.
You got to have a guy that worked the door. So I mean, and then the Chinese grocers. So like for the food, because they took care, they did the sign and like they basically catered the event.
Yes.
So now we essentially have a fully staffed up place for music for the night.
Yeah, and they work really fast. It was within the span of like 5 hours, if that. And then one of my favorite scenes is we all of a sudden see this like random house in the middle of nowhere, and this white man. It's like the sun's going down, and this white man jumps like into shot, which
Into
I
the
thought was a
frame.
very cool
That was
shot.
cool. I
And you
like
could
that.
see his flesh.
He's been smoking
steaming.
because we kind of figured out it's like, oh, he's
See, because I would have liked not knowing that he was a vampire and kind of being like, because I think the lie he sold was like, oh, I've been injured. So see, if I didn't know he was a vampire, I think I would have liked the reveal that we find out that he's a vampire later.
yeah, this
You know what I mean?
slow roll, but it's a pretty long movie.
It's long, and then I'll get into that too. I feel like it was very important to hear all the backstory and establish all these characters and things like that. And
Yeah.
the foreshadowing of like a snake jumping out and, one of the twins like stabbing it. That was a good jump scare. That did get me.
Yeah, scared by the snake.
I'm pretty sure I gasped in the movie theater. I hate that I gasp. I hate that I'm a gasper. I got it from my mother.
You grew up on telenovelas and stuff. Though.
Yes, I hate that I'm always gasping when I get nervous.
Yeah.
And so, anyways,
You're always crossing yourself.
Yes, I'm
You're not
always-
even Catholic.
not even Catholic. Never went to a Catholic church once in my life. But anyways, and so this white man with sizzling skin knocks on the door, and this white couple like pulls out their gun on him, and he's just like, "No, you got to help me. I have money. Can you please hide me?"
From these Indians.
Yes.
These Choctaw are following him. We don't know why. I think it's kind of interesting. Like they just kind of leave it at that. Like they just like knew. I guess this tribe hunt
Yes.
monsters or something.
Yeah, and so yeah, in this world, the Native Americans were
Like probably aware of like
monster hunters.
they're like aware of like the supernatural.
And honestly, I could have seen, not saying for this movie, but I could see a whole movie of like Native Americans, hunting these monsters.
That'd be from like
a-
folklore. I would love
Yeah,
that.
that would be like really cool. But anyways, and so of course the white couple
And he
want to side with the white guy.
well, and he plays it up too, because what does this smoking man spy in the background very like prominently think is
Oh,
that
yeah,
there's
he sees
clan
them.
robes.
Yes.
So it's just like, oh, he plays up as like his like kind of like basically saying like these non-white people attacked me and threatened me.
Yes.
Can you help me hide me from them?
Yes. And then, I think again would have been a great reveal if I didn't know they were vampires, if he was a vampire. But I liked, the Native American head leader looking for the guy was just like, this man is not who you think he is,
Yeah.
or what he is, or whatever. And that would have been like, oh, okay, what's happening? And then, yeah,
Sure.
I loved the reveal where she's looking for her husband, Bert, which was very funny because that is my cat's name.
Yeah.
And she was like, Bert, like looking for him. And that's when the spooky aspect starts coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And then she comes into the back room and sees the man that they just let in with blood all over his mouth,
Mm-hmm.
being like, and then you pan down, you see her husband like dead on the ground, and him just very creepily saying like, oh, he's going to be better soon, or whatever he says.
He's just resting.
Oh, he's just resting. Then he like pops up, this horror scream. Then we cut back to the club, and I'm like, yes, that's for me. I mean, I understand the importance of all the backstory needed, but for me, that's when the movie started getting really good.
It's a reminder like, oh yeah,
it was a slow burn.
It's still a horror movie.
Yes, it was a slow burn, but then we finally get, honestly, like halfway into the movie, we don't get to that part yet.
Yeah, because we finally get a little horror movie cooking, but then boom, we're right back to this like opening night.
Yes.
Then it's just more like dealing with like the kind of like intricacies of the club.
Yes.
We got people dancing, singing, shooting dice, drinking, and like it's supposed to be like it's a party. It's working. It's people. The word got out.
And I understand the importance of it because when little Sammy Billy Bob starts playing his guitar,
Preface it, this is a big deal because like coming to this movie, I had people talking about this one scene that everyone's like audibly gasped for, like they feel like they had an out of body experience because it was like such an incredible scene. So I'm like already primed for this,
Right.
And I think I know which one it is. And then this scene this scene starts
This
happening.
scene starts happening, and I don't know how I feel about it.
Because it's like it ties into what like the text at the beginning of the movie was about, like how music can connect you to both the past and the future through music. And so Little Sammy's playing the blues, and but then all of a sudden like he plays the blues so good, he's able to conjure spirits, and then we see like the literal like manifestation of that. So you've got like people.
So I understand the past. Like I understand
People
seeing like
with
him
the
conjuring the spirits of like past cultures
like
and their
African like tribal stuff, like drums and like things like that. It's like,
Yes,
but
but
then
then they kind of lost me because all of a sudden he conjured up the spirits
of like a guy looks like
few.
from Parliament Funkadelic, like 70s like like funk music guy.
But they really lost me whenever he conjured the spirit of like the
Like Run.
2012 DJ.
I was like, there's
and
like
there was
Run
like a guy
DMC.
with a spin on a turntable.
Yeah, like I said, like I felt like Run DMC, like it's like hip hop with the big gold chains and like the b-boy outfits and like Adidas commercial.
Yes, and I didn't like that.
No, like, and we kind of like flow. It was again from a technical directorial standpoint, it's super awesome. It looks
Very important.
beautiful. Like it looks gorgeous. Like I'm sure it took forever to shoot this.
Because it's all one shot, right?
Yeah, and we just kind of like flow through everything. We see all the different things and the people dancing, and like it's like how music is connective. But at the end of that scene, I just felt like it's like I'm waiting for the Apple logo to pop up, telling me to buy the new AirPods.
Yeah. It did feel a little bit like an Apple podcast, or not Apple podcast, an Apple AirPods commercial.
Like a really well done one, but it's
A
just
really
like,
gorgeous commercial.
it's like yeah. It just feel like it's like, hey, music connects us all, right?
Yes. And again, I understand the importance, and I'm not like bashing the idea of like, oh, like they are, because they all of a sudden there was like girls twerking, things like that. It just kind of threw me out of it a little bit because I didn't expect
This.
that. I just didn't, I don't know. To me, it felt a little corny.
I said back to being like the iron, like the layers of irony. It's like I hope that's not the case. It's just I'm too ironic to
yeah, maybe we're just not sincere enough people.
But I would, or like, and it's like, or is it because like it's not like our experience, because it's like centered like more the Black experience,
Yes.
like musically. But I don't know. Two of my favorite movies from last year were like Sing Sing and Nickel Boys, and that also like centers the Black experience in a way like I felt incredibly moved by, and I
Yes.
felt that I approached those sincerely, and I didn't feel any sense of ironic remove. I felt those movies.
Yes.
I just did not feel this. I think it's okay to say it's a little corny.
It was a little corny when the DJ came out.
It's a
and they
little
started
corny.
twerking.
It's and we got like we got like people from the 30s like kind of like doing a little sling dance, but then you got like the twerking, and then like people like just playing like drums, and then like they metaphorically burn it down, and they're dancing outside and like the wreckage. Again, it felt like too much of like a music video kind of move or something.
Sure. Yeah.
And then and then we finally do cut to like back to like, oh, this scene, this music is what attracted the vampires to it.
Yes.
And should we get into his motivation about why? So these vampires, this lead vampire is like he loves blood and changing people into vampires. That's his whole thing. But he came to this place specifically because he wanted.
Did you say specifically?
Specifically?
You said specifically.
I did not.
You said roll the tape back.
Yeah.
You said specifically.
Pacifically. All right, you're right. He came there specifically to find the musician. Like he wanted to find Sammy.
Yeah.
Cause he said like, oh, the way you did that for like all the Black people in this place, I need you to do that for me. Mm-hmm. The Irish vampire.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, so he didn't just want to like kill people and like drain their blood. He also like wanted to hear music.
Yes, this again, I didn't know this movie was so music forward.
Yeah.
And I I love the scene where obviously the trope that vampires can't go inside unless they're invited in.
Yeah, that's a
And
great.
so yeah, they were like asking to come in so that they can play music with them. But then and that scene was really creepy and all
I
of it was
do
really good.
because I do like after so many like riffs on like vampires, like how like you think you know the rules about vampires, but you're all wrong, kind of like style
Right.
scenes. I like that they was met to the classic notes like no, steaks work, garlic works, holy water works, sunlight works. It's
Right.
like I like the vampire rules that are just like classic for a reason.
Yes, exactly. I think new age vampire movies kind of do.
They try to work around
They
things.
try to work around it. Twilight ruined it for all of us.
Barely a vampire.
Sexy vampire.
The idea of a vampire, I think.
Speaking of, Kristen Stewart just got married today.
I think
Or over the weekend.
fundamentally that with.
Did you not hear what I just said?
Yeah, I don't care about Kristen Stewart.
I've seen her
it's
naked.
It's not June yet.
I've seen her naked.
Oh, that's right, because I forgot your former guest of the pod was once close friends with her.
Yeah, we all went skinny dipping once. We went over to Kristen Stewart's house, went a little skinny dipping.
She wanted you guys to les out with her.
I don't actually think so. She had Stella Maxwell at the time. I don't think she wanted us. She didn't want us grimy little
gremlins.
Saw Stella Maxwell naked that night too. I saw them naked.
That's nice.
And I had bigger tits than them. That's my one LA story.
Oh, but vampires at the bare minimum need to be susceptible to sunlight. That's the whole drawback of being a vampire.
And then a friend really ruined the night for us because she got a little too fanny.
Which is, yeah, she came on strong.
She came on a little strong. We won't get into it.
It's just funny because this friend
ruined
like
the
this.
night for all
It
of
is
us,
very
so
funny.
we could never go to Kristen Stewart's house again.
Well, and it was funny because this is a friend like that. It was kind of tried to be cool and like kind of like tried to be aloof, and they just.
But then I think the moment they got drunk, they got fangirly.
They like dropped all pretense of like being cool and removed.
Yeah, but anyways, keep going.
Oh yeah, I was tickled by the idea of like this vampire that wanted to turn Sammy to hear music, but like to connect to his ancestors, because I'm just picturing like the same scene we just saw with like all like the black people like with their music, but it's just like Irishy. It's like playing like violins, and like Bono has to show up and like hello.
Yeah.
Like I want to see the Irish version of that.
I mean, they kind of did whenever
There's like a
they ended up
leprechaun.
whenever the people like left after the shit started going down because
Oh yeah, there's killing time. They're in the field. They're like, I guess we're gonna have our own little song.
Yes. I mean, yeah, I guess we don't have to get into the specifics of everything.
The rocky road to Dublin.
Because we're running out of time. But yeah, I think I really loved all the tropes of, like the vampires trying to convince them to go inside.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever they got poor cornbread, when he was just trying to take a piss, which was a very funny moment when he was peeing by a tree.
Yep.
And then the vampires are out, and every time he heard a noise, you'd hear the stream stopping.
Yeah.
And then starting again, and then you'd hear and then you go. And then stop. That was a very funny moment.
And I can tell you that does not feel good.
He's got that strong.
Yeah, having to start and stop, not fun.
But yeah, and then he comes back and he's being just a little off.
Yeah.
I love when they make character choices like that where they're just a little off. Where he's just like, oh, sorry, I had to take a shit too. Like, sorry, I took so long. But anyways, can you like invite me back in real quick?
Mm-hmm.
And then that's whenever people started realizing, wait, what the hell's going on? Like,
not to get too far ahead of that. First and foremost, the first person to get turned is actually Haley Stanfield.
Mm-hmm.
She
can't trust no white bitch.
Because the point is like they're like trying to be like cool to the community, so they're taking like what are essentially like called like plantation dollars from some like their like sharecropper customers, which is not the same as real money. It's the kind of money you would like find in these like towns where people like worked for these plantations. Like it's not slavery per se, but they weren't paying them in real money. They were paying them in like money that they spend at like the general store. Mm-hmm. And so the two brothers are kind of at odds with it because like Stack is the cooler one. He's like, well, it's whatever. It's opening night. Who cares? Smoke is the business mind, and he's like, well, we need money. We need to stay afloat because we will. I'm looking at the numbers. We'll run out at the rate we're going.
Right.
And so they send Haley Stanfield out to go talk to these white people the vampires who wanted to come in.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, maybe they have money.
Right.
And then we cut away from her, and she comes back, and she has to be invited in, but now she's all horned up. She's forgot all about the money.
I did like it. Kind of did make me giggle a little bit, and it did feel a little Twilighty. But like whenever she's like walking away from, the white people, and then all of a sudden you see him like kind of float in there.
Flying.
It was spooky, but a little corny. But I thought, or not corny, just a little. It reminded me of Twilight a little too.
Okay, and so we get our one more sex scene squeezed in there.
Oh my god.
Haley Stanfield is she's on the prowl now.
And even then, the other sex scene, everyone was horny.
She's all
Little Sammy was fucking eating that married woman's box out.
Yeah, from what we hear, doing a pretty good job.
And I hate. It's accurate, but I kind of hated. She was like, "No, don't go down there. I just walked here."
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "You're beautiful," and I was just like, "I don't give a fuck if it's fucking Stella Maxwell." If Stella Maxwell, if I was going down on her at that party and she was like, "Don't do it," like I just walked, I'd be like, "Oh shit, girl, get in the shower real quick."
Also, it's the summer. It's hot.
I just no. Miss me with that. I'm sorry. I'm a prude when it comes to that. Anything that stinks, I'm not going near it.
Well, so good on Sammy for.
That's why we're this far apart right now. That's why we're not sitting arm to arm, shoulder to shoulder.
Adri walked here today.
Because no, don't turn the joke on me. Don't turn the joke I was just about to do on you.
Took a car here today, so I am smelling nice and fresh.
No, because we have all established on this pod that you smell like pennies.
You were doing wind sprints outside the building before.
No, that shirt you're wearing, brown, it was white. I know you don't do laundry.
It looks nice.
Anyways.
Oh, and then Haley Stanfield is drooling because she's a vampire and she wants to bite him, so she drools into spits in his mouth though. He's all about it too.
Nasty.
Michael B. Jordan is Michael B. Freakin' in that moment.
Why can't these vampires just make love? Why do they have to be all nasty about it?
Because vampirism is about blood and carnality. It's supposed to be vicious and real. Passion.
I didn't like her spitting in his mouth.
Anyway, so
no, I said what I said.
Okay, you don't like it. Some guy gets cut in the face, and then they want to find where Stack is at to kind of help, essentially bounce a guy, and then turns out Haley Stanfield goes full vampire and starts eating on him, slurping on him, and then they think it's she's fine, but then they come back to the room. It's oh no, she's eating him.
Right, because it just kind of looked like from the shot, it just looked like she was getting her freak on. Yeah. But then when she turns around, there's blood all over her mouth.
And I love that Smoke, without even no hesitation, he's a gangster at heart, just pulls out two guns and immediately starts shooting her.
And she just runs off.
Yeah, starts laughing.
Yeah, that was creepy.
And she's like, everyone's going to die. It's see, that's scary vampire. I like that.
That's a scary vampire.
But we'll come back to that later.
Yes.
So right now, these vampires are
I don't know if we have time to go back to that later. We need to wrap this up.
Okay, the point, I like that version of vampires. They're scary, they're killing people. But it turns out when you get bit by these vampires, you turn to super fast. And it seems like you keep most of your personality.
Yeah.
It seems they kind of want to have both ways in a way I found frustrating. Mm-hmm. You want vampires to be evil monsters that that's the drawback is you turn, you're trying everything in your power to save these people from becoming vampires. But then we find out at the end of the movie, it's actually okay. The people that got turned are fine.
Okay, so this is why maybe, and again, this is not the movie's fault or anything, but I think the writer in me, when I found out it was about vampires and during that time, part of me thought oh, is the Ku Klux Klan vampires?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's cool.
Yes.
That's fun. Was not that.
But guess what? Nope. Vampires actually woke.
They were a little woke.
They're hey guys, actually, I'm cool. I'm Irish. I'm not racist. Actually, I want you guys to this world's not for you. Come join my cool world where you are telepathic and we get along. It's actually sick to be a vampire.
Actually, kind of sounds like Twilight.
Yeah, because then
the more we
he's
keep
actually
talking
the
about
clan. The clan are real and they're coming to kill you tomorrow morning. Mm-hmm. The guy who sold you the place, he's the grand dragon of the local clan chapter. Mm-hmm. So join us.
Right.
And then they're no, you're still vampires. And so all hell breaks loose. And the other dumb writer plot point, they can't get in, but But the one woman who owns the grocery store, her husband gets turned, and so they know she has a daughter, and they're like kind of like hinting like, well, if you don't let us in, we'll go get your daughter or something.
Right.
But even though they just said they want Sammy, so but she's not thinking. So we need her. She goes in the classic movie freak out. It's like, whatever, you can come in. Basically lets the horde in. So we do have a great.
That pissed me off. If I were Michael B. Jordan, I would have like snapped her neck.
It's a dumb. See, that part's dumb to me. It's like
yeah. Okay. So this is my review on it. I kind of feel like the first half, of course, like we need that backstory, we need all that, but then the second half felt a little rushed. I really wanted to sit in that world and sit with it more and see other ways these vampires can try to get in, like a vampire invasion where it kind of felt like it was almost like, okay, we just got to get to it already. So let's this one lady freak out and then invite them all in, and then they all come in, and then all of a sudden, there's like this big vampire. It felt more like an action movie rather than a horror movie to me.
Yes, I think there was a more emphasis on action, which I think is more his background. He's done,
and I don't mind
movies.
That. Yeah,
it is.
I just wanted to get to that sooner.
It was less horror movie. It was like definitely action horror, not horror action. To me,
yes. I mean, I think there is this new genre of movie where the first half is kind of like a psych out, where it's like you think it's like a drama, or you think it's whatever,
slice
comedy,
of life,
a slice of life. But then all of a sudden it turns horror, and it reminded me a lot of like From Dusk to Dawn.
Yeah.
And which I do love that movie. But again, I almost feel like because there was hints that it was going to become horror later, it doesn't like sit right with me in the sense where I feel like with Dusk to Dawn, it did a great job being like, oh, this is like a drama. And then all of a sudden it becomes like a scary vampire movie, where this hinted like this is going to become a scary vampire movie.
Yeah.
So maybe we could have just like lost all those like hints and those details.
Sure.
And and so they're going, it's pretty much a vampire war, kind of like Twilight.
Except there's no fake out. It does happen.
That pissed me the hell off.
There's no like
Twilight.
There's no elaborate like actually.
How many Twilights are there? There's 3, right? It's a trilogy. No,
Thanks.
it's like 4, right? There was 4 movies, but I think 3 books.
3 books. That sounds right. I just know that there's a famous scene where like they have this big fight, and then it turns out it was like a vision. Or something.
Vision, yeah. So stupid.
So because you kill all these characters in the fight, and then it's like actually didn't happen. None of it happened.
Right. So
this
stupid.
does happen.
Okay, so I understand the metaphor of the movie. I understand that like the vampires maybe signify that, this is the life you're destined to. Like, this is like how your life will be. You have no free will.
I think it like hints at like maybe it's like trying to like draw an allegory of like assimilation. It's like, hey, you don't have by becoming a vampire, you don't have to be like black in America anymore. And so a way you're kind of like you're like leaving behind your like identity in that regard. I could see that being like,
it was a little convoluted because I kind of feel like I needed a more clear like angle of like, oh, are you saying like if I become a vampire, this is a metaphor of me just like subduing to my to what is
joining white culture, but at the same time it's like, well, no, then you have the overt threat of the clan in the morning. It's like, oh, I think you needed them both to be more intertwined.
Yeah, maybe. I think maybe if it was like a clan and like they're taking the vampires, then it would have made a lot more sense for the specifics of like what does this community, this culture, what are they giving into?
Right. Also, I wanted Haley Steinfeld to be less sympathetic because I thought they were alluding to she's like that kind of classic white woman like
who's a traitor,
who like is like no like yeah she's like wants to be like a part of like black culture like or like use it for her own ends, but when push comes to shove, she's ultimately on the side of like whiteness and shows she's like she's like a monster in that regard because like. From the trailer, you always knew she was gonna be a vampire and like a monster. I thought she was always that, and so that would have been scary to me. It's like, oh, she's that kind of that wolf in sheep's clothing,
right?
Like she was never, like sympathetic to black people at the end of the day.
Yeah.
No, it just turns out.
And again, there are people like that, and there were definitely people like that in the past. So it doesn't have to be so black and white, no pun intended. But like. I understand that too, but again, I think we just needed a stronger angle for me at least. Like,
It's just
And
a
then
little.
then the Ku Klux Klan. Why are they coming in the morning? Why didn't they
Do that
to me? It would make more sense for them to come that night because
and kill as many people as
kills
possible.
many people. Why are they wait in the morning?
I don't know.
That didn't make sense to me.
I mean, points where points are due. Very cool to see Michael B. Jordan killing a bunch of Klan members.
Oh yeah, that was pretty badass.
That kicked ass. It was cool. It was a cool
hot.
scene.
It was hot.
His arms look exactly like mine do when I'm shooting a gun.
You've never held a gun.
We
in your life.
we have the exact same arm shape, so that's cool for me. We're both chiseled.
The only thing you have in common is that after that night, he probably smelled like pennies. He was sweaty and full of blood, covered in blood.
So he eventually gets to go. He's injured from the night in the fight. He gets to pass on to like the nice heaven with his
his baby that passed, but then also he
wife,
did lose his wife during the fight.
Well, then they're together. We see they're together again, so that's nice.
Yeah, it felt like a little like Titanic.
But then we get this like after credit scene where Sammy grows up. He chose music. He loves music. Michael B. Jordan and Haley Steinfeld showed up again, and they're cool. Like they're still vampires, but now they're like all chill about it. And like
I didn't really like that because everyone was like, "Stay for the credits, and it felt like kind of like
again,
what was the point? And again, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe someone just needs to tell me.
Well, they made it seem like again like vampirism isn't that bad. Like they were in control. They could greet him, and they were like buddies with him.
Yeah, they weren't like bloodthirsty anymore.
No,
I don't understand why they stopped being bloodthirsty.
They stopped being monsters.
Because it's the 90s.
Yeah, it was like it was just uncool.
Yeah.
Did the AIDS crisis scare them off blood for a while?
They
had to be a little more choosy.
525,600
They weren't.
vampires?
I feel like they were in New York or something. So maybe they saw Rent and they opened their eyes. All right, so yeah, we both like the movie, but I would love to hear. It's currently around like 90% or 99% on Rotten Tomatoes. Let's throw it over to Adri Tomatoes.
I would say, maybe a 94 Adri Tomatoes.
Okay, I'm gonna give it out of 5 fangs, 4.5 fangs.
What happened to the half fang?
It got chipped.
Got chipped?
Yeah, and they made it just like in the movie. It's actually a gold tooth now.
Oh, okay.
It's one fang, one gold tooth.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely recommend to go see it. We unfortunately didn't get to see it in IMAX, which was dumb on our part. And maybe I'm down to go rewatch it to see it in IMAX.
It might bump it up a fang.
That fang might get fixed. That fang might go to the vampire doctor.
Doctor, get a veneer.
Yeah, get a
veneer fang.
A veneer fang, exactly. Yeah. Okay, well, that's been our show. Let us know in the comments if we're wrong.
Please tell us how wrong we are.
Tell us. We love to learn. We love to grow.
We're always growing.
We're always learning.
This podcast is nothing if not committed to growth.
Yes, we're listening, and we're only slightly judging.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, out.